Hello everyone, back again with me Dante from Dante's Book Talk with another book tech video, and today it's time for the end of the year TPR book tech. So this idea was proposed by Kakana Sofia for this month's posting with Booktube ID, and essentially in this video I'm supposed to be talking about some of the books that I want to read before the end of this year. And there are 3 books in particular that I want to read. Oh yeah, by the way, I would like to apologize because the upload hasn't been quite consistent lately, and the reason is because my life is quite busy, what with the college and some other stuff. But I actually have finished Daylight by David Baldacci, and I'm currently reading Stormfront, the first novel in the Dresden Files series by Jim Butcher. Hopefully I can finish that novel and review those 2 novels and upload the reviews this month, hopefully, because I still have some other video ideas that I want to make, so let's see. So yeah, thank you for your patience and understanding, and with that, let's talk about the first book, and that is True Grit by Charles Portis. So the story of True Grit centers around a 14-year-old girl named Maddie who wants to avenge her father's murder, who was killed by one of his workers named Tom Chaney. And the reason for this is because when she's about to claim her father's body, she finds out that no one apparently is doing anything to capture Tom Chaney. With that, she then tries to convince another man named Rooster, who is said to have the grit, to help her find Tom and bring the cold-blooded killer to face justice. So I actually have talked about this novel before in my other videos, and the reason why I want to read this is because I love the movie adaptation of this novel, the 2010 version directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. That movie just touched me and moved me, and not only are the performances great, the messages and the themes in that movie are also profound. Maybe this is going to be one of those rare occasions in which I love the movie and the book. So hopefully that's the case, and yeah, I can't wait to find out myself why this Western adventure novel is beloved by many people. Okay, so the next novel that I hope I can read and finish before the end of this year is the complete Father Brown stories by G.K. Chesterton. So G.K. Chesterton was a famous Catholic and was a prominent figure in Christian literature. During his life, he wrote a number of influential books such as Heretics, which is basically a collection of his essays and articles that criticize the heretics, or people who pride themselves on their superiority to Christian views, and also some observations on the wider world. And also Orthodoxy, which is meant to be the companion to Heretics, providing alternative solutions or alternative philosophies to the contemporary philosophies that he criticizes in Heretics, and it also focuses on how he came to believe the Christian faith. Okay, so I want to know more about his works after hearing about him from Bishop Robert Barron, and I have decided to read this one first. So this book is essentially a collection of Father Brown stories that centers around a priest named Father Brown, who is apparently also a super sleuth or detective. But unlike your typical detectives who are smart, brilliant, and use scientific methods of detection, Father Brown is smart and also brilliant, but he refuses to use the scientific method, and instead he uses an approach of simple sympathy, interpreting each crime as a work of art, and he also sees criminals as people who are not necessarily worse than himself. I believe all of these traits just make this character much more unique, and among many detectives that have been written, this character definitely stands out. And I also think that this book also shows that stories about religion, or stories that have religious themes or messages, can be fun. You know, they don't always have to be preachy, corny, or boring. To emphasize this point, I'm going to quote one sentence that is written on the back of the book that is taken from one of the short stories, and here it goes. My first case was just a small private affair about a man's head being cut off. See? It can be fun. Okay, so before we talk about the third and final book that I want to read this year, don't forget to subscribe and turn that notification bell on, and also like and share this video, especially if you like it. Thank you. Okay, so the third and final novel that I want to read and finish this year is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So the sci-fi novel essentially focuses on an astronaut named Ryland Grace who's on a dangerous mission to save humanity from extinction. But for some reasons unknown, he doesn't remember about a lot of things. He doesn't remember his name, he doesn't remember his assignments, he doesn't remember how to finish his assignment. What he does know though is that he is millions of miles away from home, that he is just awakened from a long sleep, and that there are 2 corpses with him on the small ship that he's on. But despite all of that, Ryland has to figure it out himself what the hell is going on and save humanity from a threat that threatens its existence. So I actually have never talked about this book before, but the reason why I have it is because I love the movie adaptation of The Martian. That movie made me want to see the author's other works. And eventually, when this book came out, I decided to buy it because the premise just intrigued me. In addition to that, the score that this book got on Goodreads just made it even more difficult for me not to buy it. So although sci-fi is not necessarily my cup of tea, I hope that I'll have a great time reading this one. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I want to finish this year. I know that there aren't that many books because I don't really know if I can read that many books for the rest of this year. Maybe if it's possible, I'll try to add 1 or 2 books, but yeah, overall, these are the 3 ones that I want to finish. And yeah, how about you? What are some of the books that you want to read and finish before the end of this year? Share them in the comments below and let me know. I'll definitely check them out. Okay, so before we end this video, I would like to tag 2 booktubers to also make this book tag video, and they are Ariesy from Books with Ariesy and also Rachael from Rachel's Library. Hopefully you guys haven't made this video by the time I upload it. With that, thank you for watching and staying, and my name is Dante from Dante's Book Talk. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.